biggest challenge people have is no one listens to them. There's a lot of opportunity as an executive coach to participate and partner with people in a really meaningful way that allows people to be heard. There's a better path for people where our way of being with others is more important than the bottom line. I believe what makes me unique as an executive coach is I was an executive. The name of my business is Stratitude. And for me, it really combines two key components, the strategy with the attitude that really brings success. My goal as an executive coach is to combine the ability to draw upon and create strategies with attitudes for success. A strategy is a checklist. A strategy is a plan of how you want to go about achieving your goals. An attitude, that's the way you're going to do it. That's the part that's going to bring that sense of success, that happiness, the fulfillment that all executives are looking for. Everyone needs a Stratitude adjustment from time to time. A certified executive coach requires a dedication to the educational components, abiding by the guidelines of ethics and integrity and the policies and principles of the International Coaching Federation. You really don't know what a client's going to bring you in terms of a challenge or an issue at every session. So you start every session with a clean slate. And in doing that, you're learning about their process, their environment, their issue, their challenge in the questions and the type of discussion that you have. So it is a learning process each and every time that you have a coaching session with a client. What's really important for me is that there's a good fit. And a good fit means that I'm comfortable with the person, but really more importantly, that they're comfortable with me. That my style is something that they're warm to, that it's going to be a good, engaging type of relationship. Not that it won't have sort of the challenges that, when you get into tough conversations, it can be difficult. But there needs to be a connection there between an executive coach and the client in order for us to be able to have conversations that go deep enough to root cause issues, that go into values and beliefs and become meaningful conversations where there can be shifts. As an executive coach, I don't give advice, but I do give advice as a person. So I think you have to know within an executive coaching role what hat you need to wear in that moment. You're there to partner, a thinking partner, provide perspective, give feedback from time to time, a support person for them to come to their own conclusions, for them to create ideas, for them to create options, and more specifically for them to create actions that will get them moving on a path forward to where they want to go. I think you can't have a really productive coaching session unless you sort of, let down the walls, let down the barriers, be able to laugh at yourself when you say something that, maybe you shouldn't have said, or when that internal dialogue starts and it starts to come out of your mouth, and be able to stop and say, oh, I did it again. Oh, there I go again. I think it's so important to have sort of that sense of forgiveness of yourself and just laugh with it and live in the moment. And you have to do that with clients. You have to be able to alleviate the stress points, alleviate some of that pressure by bringing moments of time to their day or to their coaching session where they can be themselves, where they can just, let it all out. What I'm most passionate about is learning. It's important to me, and I think it keeps my interest up when I'm always constantly learning something new and different. I find there's not a situation that you can't learn from. I need to have that constant influx of new things, and for me that's books. I'm passionate about books. I have books everywhere. I just find you can open up the cover of a book and you can learn something new, you can experience something new. It's comforting, it's rewarding, it's fun. I love to read, I love books, and I love learning. My father, growing up, would always say to us, remember who you are. And we were always, okay, Dad, I'll remember who I am. We used to think what that meant was that, remember who he was. Don't embarrass me, don't. And I think I haven't really come to understand fully what that means until my more recent years. And I think what my father really meant was remember who you are inside. Know yourself, know your values, know your beliefs, know what you believe in and how that interacts with other people and how it influenced the way I want to be. I find myself saying it to my son occasionally, remember who you are, remember what's important. My mom at the age of 80 is still working. She's one of those really special people that found their passion, and I find that inspiring. I would hope that I could love my work that much that when I'm 80, I still want to be doing it. I am married to my life partner, Greg. We've been blessed with the most fun, interesting, unique child that we could ever imagine, who's quirky and funny and a great sense of humor. And we've had a great life. When I went to the city to work, to commute for 5 years, I took a promotion, and that was a tough challenge for us. My son was 7 at the time, and my husband, bless him, because he is one of those people who is incredibly caring and became a stay-at-home dad. So we've had kind of one of those non-traditional relationships that way that I'm so fortunate for having. It's just who gets that chance to have a child and have that young boy spend so much time with a father. I believe it's important as an executive to be a true leader. And I define that leadership by doing what you say you're going to do, by having integrity, by caring for the people around you, for taking time to listen. I'm a CPA, and I've had a very diverse business experience over a 20-plus year career. I know what that lifestyle is. I know what the demands of the role can be. I know how challenging it is. I know how rewarding it is. As a certified executive coach, I bring the elements of understanding how business works with also the understandings of how people work. And I bring a cohesive ability to look at those elements and combine them to partner with clients and bring out their strategies for success. As a finance executive for a Fortune 100 organization, it was a high-pressure job, and I was fortunate to work for a company that really helped people develop and helped with the training component of that. However, I think having a coach really would have helped me to be more effective. There's a far better way to be the best that we can be, to have meaningful, impactful business lives, and do it in a way where we're authentic. I think having a coach would have helped me to be happier in living in the moment and being more mindful of what was important in life. The most discouraging time I ever had in my entire career was the moment that I sat in front of an executive and he said, I'm all about business and I don't care if people like me. And that was one of those moments that only come along every once in a while in life where something clicks. And for me, it clicked in such a powerful and personal and life-changing way. And I decided that I no longer fit in what I was doing and how I was doing it. It no longer fit my values, my beliefs, the things that at my core were really important to me. As I was preparing to leave my role, I started to receive these letters from people that I knew across North America. And they were the most heartfelt, warming notes of appreciation. And I was so touched by just the sincerity of people to reach out and tell me, you know, here's what you meant to me throughout my career. It really meant a lot. And it gave me this sense of, I can have an impact with other people and I can make lives better for them. I still have that stack of letters. I kept every single email and note and letter that I received. I'll bring them out occasionally on a day when maybe I need to have a little bit of a boost and read through some letters and say, yeah, I made an impact. I helped them have a better life. I would say being a woman in a male-dominated corporate environment wasn't a challenge, although there were moments that I found challenging. In beginning my career, I worked with a public accounting firm. Really nice, diverse, sort of lively, young environment. Through that time, I also did a little bit of teaching at college, some accounting courses and some background courses, and then I moved from that environment over into the corporate environment. One of the things that I noticed in moving to a corporate environment in the companies that I worked for is that there was a real lack of diversity in those companies. And quite often, through that 22 years of experience, I was the only female sitting at the board table. I was the only female in the meetings. And I really had to learn to be strong, to voice my opinion, to take a stand. Over the years, that really didn't change a lot. And as I grew within my career and progressed in my career, I expected that, you know, as I moved to different environments, I would have exposure to more women in senior levels. That wasn't the case, unfortunately. And so I think it really helped to inform upon me the importance of being an example, setting an example, showing young women that there is a way, that we can do it, that all we need is a chance, a foot in the door, and it's possible. From time to time, the lines between an executive coach and a life coach can be blurred. I think there's a lot of overlap. I think from an executive coaching standpoint, though, the overriding objective and the strategy is around helping people in their business environment, helping them to grow their businesses, helping them to be more effective leaders. So there's that underlying business component and specific business-related goals that can be tied into the executive coaching strategy and the relationship that you have with an executive. It does, however, and here's where it gets a little bit gray, is that there are lots and lots of topics that really, at the root cause of them, it's about life. It's about how do you balance family and business? How do you balance your time? How do you take care of yourself? How do you be the best that you can be everywhere that you show up? And that can be a challenge. And so lots of those coaching discussions do center on how to take good self-care so that you're more mindful about how do I want to show up at my next meeting? How do I want to show up with my clients? How do you get yourself centered so that you can be at your best for everyone else? mindfulness is a really quiet awareness of what is existing in the moment. Being aware of what do I feel, what am I thinking, what's the expression on my face, just, what's it smell like some days when you walk outside, when you walk into the office in the morning, what are all the sounds that you hear? Who's here? Who's having a good day? Sometimes just recognizing and being aware of all of those little things that happen in our lives when we're so busy, we're running around like chickens with our head cut off maybe. Pants on fire sometimes, if that's a better expression, running around with pants on fire, we're not noticing the simple basic things around what we've been given and what we can be grateful for. And mindfulness to me is just that recognition and gratitude of this minute and this time and whatever it is. What mindfulness gives me is a sense of purpose. It gives me a sense of belonging. It gives me a sense of calm, meaningfulness some days. It gives me a sense that I fit in my own life and that I fit in my own skin and that everything is great. It's that sense of well-being. There's one thing that I love to do, and I call it my mindfulness walk. And when everyone goes off to school or off to work in the morning, and I'm just starting my day, I put on my sneakers and I step outside and I go for a walk. And we live in a beautiful, natural environment, and I go for a walk and I listen to the birds. I enjoy the sun. Some days I enjoy the rain, what it sounds like, what it smells like. That's my time to think and plan, and I'm incredibly creative. It surprises me the number of things that can come up when I've taken 30 minutes of my day to start my day well. I'm really great at connecting with people and really good at drawing people out and what's really great about them. So asking people questions, for instance, what are your strengths? What do you love? I have a high level of judgment. And what I mean by the word judgment is that ability to step back and think and sort of noodle thoughts and ideas around before moving forward. I have a great sense of humor. I love to laugh. I love to have a good time. I think it's really important that life be fun and interactions with people that you work with are fun. And I bring that to the people that I work with and to my family, to my friends. I'm very much a heart thinker instead of a head thinker. In a corporate environment as a finance executive, I think that was a challenge. I always wanted those types of impactful decisions that executives make to have a softer benefit, to have a deeper meaning to the people, and not be the hard numbers, the bottom line impact, and be sort of these black and white decisions. Everything we do within a corporate environment affects hundreds, if not thousands of people. And so every decision that we make needs to have both that head component, the facts, but it needs to have an impact. And you can only do that when you think with your heart. It's so important that who we are being is not all about business. Gratitude is one of my favorite words in the entire world. We're at a sad place, I think, in this world with the issues that we have across the globe. This whole element of uncertainty, and people really are lacking hope. And so that's why I think gratitude is so important. Perspective is one of those other words along with gratitude that are really, really important. In talking to someone about their own success, the importance is bringing them different lenses of perspective. Success is achieving whatever you set your mind to. It's defined by you as an individual. So success is not a job title. Success is not a salary. Success is not being an executive. Success is being the best person that you are supposed to be. As an executive coach, I can bring that to my clients, and I really look forward to doing that.